Welcome everybody to season 1 of Break Up the Daily Grind. If you are just joining us because we're in season 1, my name is Ben. My co-host across table is Corey. Corey, how are you doing today?
Well, Ben,
Oh, here we go.
let me just tell you that I am doing pretty good today.
Good deal.
Yeah. See,
I like it.
that you thought I was going to criticize you for something or go on a tangent
Nah,
or something.
I knew better.
Nah,
I knew
not
better.
today. Not
Hey,
today.
and you know what? And for everyone who's just joining us today,
What?
we have a special surprise.
That's crazy.
Amy's back for a second one.
I am. Hi, everybody.
Yay! And so that's 2 people we got to come back.
Who would have guessed?
Guys are pretty likable guys.
So you say. You just say that because you're sitting in front of us.
Okay, if you want to believe that.
I mean, the fact that she didn't break up with you after the first one is a really good sign.
It is. It is. It is. I thank my lucky stars every day.
As do I.
Okay. So before we get started with today, we would like to let you know that today's episode's been brought to you by
Masters of Nine. Masters of Nine is a fantasy tabletop role-playing group that has fun playing poorly and recording for your entertainment. They are a series of bad rolls.
Yes, they are. With that, so now that we're going to go into our bit of dad jokes for today, and today we're going to do something different, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah?
Yep.
What are we going to do?
We got a little bit of dad jokes that are going to be dedicated to... So we didn't get any sent into us, so we thought to change things up just a little bit to dedicate this bit to single moms.
Hey, it's hard work, guys.
Hey, man.
Shout out to those single moms out there. They got to be both parents.
Moms out there.
Yep.
Got all them MILFs out there.
No, Corey, shame on you.
Hey, single moms got to get some too. All I'm saying.
Single moms got to get
Oh
some.
boy, I'm going to shut up now.
A mom's job is way hard enough when they have someone in their life that helps them every step of the way. Single moms have to pull double duty. So today, I thought it'd be awesome to do a bit of mom jokes this time. We salute you, moms. You got this. Keep us on point and laughing.
Yeah. And remember, if you have a dedication that you would like to have us read, or someone that you'd like to recognize, whether it's a mom, dad, grandparent, sibling, child, even your neighbor, teacher, whoever, it don't matter. All you need to do is send us a brief dedication and maybe their favorite set of jokes at mo9studios@gmail.com. And we will get those set up and put on here for everyone to enjoy the dedication to who you're referring to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you guys ready for some mom jokes?
I'm when you said it was going to be mom jokes, I was really curious what those are going to sound like.
So, all right, so we're ready for some jokes.
Yeah.
Where do pumpkins have their meetings?
I would say Starbucks or something stupid like that because of the lattes.
I'm not even going to take a guess. Oh.
Oh, I know he's got a good one. He just doesn't say it.
How about in the gourd room?
Oh, jeez.
That's awesome.
Jeez.
That's awesome.
Okay. Who won the neck decorating contest?
I'm not going to say what I just thought.
I don't know. I don't know.
It was a tie.
No one won.
It was a tie. Okay. Where do rainbows go when they've been bad?
Where do rainbows go when they've been bad?
No, man.
No.
I don't know.
How about to prism so they can reflect on what they've done wrong?
Jeez, that's
Wow, that is nerdy as hell.
Yes.
And that is coming from me.
Wow.
Wow.
I told you I hit the bottom of the barrel on the list. Okay.
That one's actually kind of clever, though.
Yeah?
in a really stupid way.
Well, there you go. I hope it does Mom's justice. Which vegetable has the best kung fu?
Is it a carrot? Because it can do a karate chop.
No. Close. How about
I like this better. What's the answer?
broccoli?
Oh, that's pretty good too.
Oh, that's pretty good. I like his better though. Karate chop.
Karate. Okay, so hopefully that put a smile on your face. And now with that out of the way, we can get to the topic for today, which is going to be more subreddit stories.
I like
Right?
these. These are just fun.
Yeah, these so let's go. Let's go,
Why,
Corey.
yeah, that's why we've been doing. So
That's why we've
many.
been doing them.
They're so much fun. They're so much fun.
Right.
I like drama when it's not involving
Not yours?
me. Yeah, and I'm just a bystander.
Yeah.
I like sipping the tea. All right.
I'm really interested to see what stories you guys pulled up.
I thought I could hear out of this one for a second. I'm going crazy. All right. So
what do you mean going?
He was raised
Oh,
around
so you
you.
were already crazy.
am I the asshole for sending my little sister a vet bill after she tried to get my horses to breed?
Oh.
Well, that's
Oh no.
I'm afraid.
I don't know, just based off of breeding being in the title, I'm slightly concerned. One of my biggest fears is breaking my wiener. And so,
That's a legitimate fear for a man.
yeah, I am so it can happen. So I'm wondering, whatever.
Wait. I hold on.
That just went way off the sidelines.
No, read the title again.
Yeah,
Because didn't it say something about horses?
yeah, horses.
Okay, read the title again because I think I missed something. Because first we're talking about horse breeding and now we're talking about your wiener.
Look,
and I'm
just
trying to
went
figure
down-
out the correlation.
I went down a rabbit hole because the correlation is it's about horse breeding, and I'm wondering if maybe the horse had a breeding accident where the horse broke its wiener.
Okay,
or
so
something.
that was-
and so I'm
yeah.
like, I just connecting all sorts of dots
Right.
in my head. I'm like, man, you know what? Now that I think about it, that would suck if that
Yeah.
happened to me.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was the connection I was looking for. Okay, now
Yeah,
go ahead,
that's-
continue.
Yeah.
All right, continue. I was like, whoa, boy, I was way off in left field there.
Anyways, let me read it. I, 33 female, am a horse breeder and own 10 horses. I have a little sister, 19 female, who was a surprise baby for my parents. I can tell by the age difference. Jeez. They didn't think they could have more after me, so she is quite babied even now. They begged me to take her on to help her get some work, and I agreed, but made it clear she'd have to work hard and there would be no slacking. She has generally been fine with it and enjoys being around the horses. I do have to light a fire under her ass at times to get her to keep working. The problem, however, arose when a local animal rescue asked me to help them. They had a stallion surrendered to them, and they didn't have the capabilities to take care of him. I had room, so agreed to take him.
How nice of you.
Yeah.
I've
Good
also
for you.
arranged a full genetic testing on him to ensure he's all right, as it seems like he was gotten through backyard breeders.
Ooh.
I've also made an appointment to have him gelded, as I don't know enough about him to risk him not being gelded. He has his own paddock and is kept in a separate stable than my own horses, just to be safe. I'm slowly socializing him, but I am taking no risk. What is gelding?
Yeah, so it's basically neutering the horse.
Okay, all right, good to know. That's important context. I've been letting my sisters sit on my breeding planning since 2025, and my main stars are going to be Dante and Willow. They've had 4 successful and healthy fowls who are going to go into dressage. I know they work well together, and Willow has had 2-year break, so she'll be ready to go again this year. The first warning bell I overlooked was that my sister asked about the new stallion and when I'd be breeding him. I explained he'd not be bred as there were too many unknowns. I don't know his health, and I don't have a good enough grasp of his temperament. She protested that he was prettier than Dante, and I explained there was more to this than looks. I thought she'd understood and didn't think further on this. Yesterday, an emergency came up, and I had to leave my sister alone for an hour. Uh-oh.
Oh, that's not good.
I told her she could take an hour break. When I came back, I found to my horror she'd put Willow into the paddock with the new stallion. Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
I think it's funny
Oh.
that originally she was worried she wasn't gonna do work. And
now she's
Now-
doing like too
now
much.
she's
going
taking
out of-
initiative, some-
Yeah, the
Right.
bad kind of initiative.
right.
It's like when you want your kids to eat more, and then they're like just reaching into the cookie jar instead of anything else that could be healthy.
Yeah, they only hear part of the directive.
Eat your food. Okay, well, I'll only eat the cookies.
right.
When I came back, I found to my horror she'd put Willow into the paddock with the new stallion. I asked her what the she was doing, and she told me she just thought they'd work. She just thought they'd work well together, and she was doing me a favor. Oh my goodness! I have no connection or no nothing to do with this, and no investment in this at all, and I'm upset reading this right now.
How would you like if I put you in the paddock with the stallion?
Wow.
I got Willow out of there, but not before the new stallion had bucked and reared quite a bit from the stress. I got Willow out of there, then set about calming him down. I told my sister to get home and not come back, shouting at her quite a bit, and then had a vet come out and check them both fully to ensure they'd not hurt each other. My one relief is Willow isn't in estrus yet. I had a bill sent to my sister at my parents' house. They called me today in a panic asking what the hell this was. When I explained, they told me I was being unfair and she didn't understand that, and that she couldn't pay this and was being cruel, and my sister was crying. I told them she did understand, she just didn't care, that she could pay, or they could pay. But I was not. They're freaking out over how they'll afford this. Am I taking it too far?
I don't think so.
That's a business, right?
Horse breeder. Yeah.
it's a business.
It's a business.
That's
Yep.
You make bad calls like that. I mean, although usually if you hire somebody, right, and they do something to damage the business, usually the business ends up eating it
Yeah.
because she is an employee of the business. But sometimes mixing business and family is sometimes a rough way to go
Very
at it.
rough way to go. Oh, yeah.
But in this case, like this person deliberately disobeyed an order.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
And-
absolutely.
For any other employer or employee, wouldn't the business have sent them the bill, especially in a horse breeding environment? Those vet bills can be thousands and thousands of
Huge,
dollars. And her sister had been shadowing her, from what I can understand, so she knew better. So whether it was her sister or not, this was an employee that deliberately disobeyed an order and jeopardized her whole business.
Her whole livelihood.
Yeah, and I don't think that it's right for the parents to shelter her from that. She made a choice, and she did fully understand.
Right.
Now, is there like a mental illness or anything in it? That's part of what
It's
we don't understand.
Probably not written in the post, is it?
Yeah.
No.
Nothing like that.
So we'll have to just presume that she is of sound mind.
She
I
needs-
assume so. All it says is that she is like a surprised child, so she's
Yeah.
like way younger than her sister is.
Well, and that's the other thing is that, you know, when you start getting, she said she was 17 or something like that.
19, her little
19.
sister, and then the person he posted is 33.
Right, 19.
And it's not
Well,
like
so
it's
it's
not
like-
like she can't work it off if she's gonna. I mean, obviously
No.
her sister doesn't want her to work there, but like,
Usually at 19, usually you have some good sense to say, you know what, that maybe I should just. Of course, I don't know. I could be wrong.
I would be more on the fence if in the post she literally said why they're not having this horse breed with the others, why he's kept separate, why you're not supposed to do this, all the risks that she said all that stuff to her
Right.
sister. So
No, I
she
think
made it
she's in the
very
right.
clear,
Yeah.
and her sister went out of her way to disobey and
Oh, yeah.
and
I mean-
not
yeah,
not listen.
yeah, and You can also take it a little step further and be like, I mean, technically, you put both of those animals in danger
Big
Mhm.
time.
because you didn't know which is animal cruelty. So if her sister really wanted to be a jerk about it, she could file charges.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I don't-
pay the vet bill, dude. That's,
I don't
mean,
know if it's actually animal cruelty because
you can, I mean, it may not be exact that, but
It's-
there's probably charges that she can. Because if it stresses the animal out, it would be just like knowing an animal isn't supposed to be with this animal and purposely putting him in there. You made a choice, and that puts them in danger.
Yeah, you're gonna
Right.
stress both horses out.
Correct.
It's very possible, especially if you don't know the temperament of the stallion
Correct.
Right.
that they acquired. That the stallion could be very aggressive, very rough.
Yeah.
Could even potentially not just hurt the horse, but kill the other horse.
right.
You know.
I guess it could be a stretch for the cruelty, but I guess it's plausible for sure.
Well, I mean, if she really wants to be a jerk about it, like, there's probably some charges that she can file. And I'm not saying it could be, like, specific animal cruelty. I'm just saying, like, along those lines. Because
I'm trying
it's a
to
vet
like,
bill. Pay the vet bill. You made a bad decision, chick.
I'm trying to like get into the mind of like what her younger sister was thinking, why she would do that in the first place, and all I can think of is she's just trying to like prove herself, like be to her sister. And she's like trying to show her that she's capable,
That she's capable.
of like
But
doing things. and
She's not
stuff.
capable of listening. No,
No,
that's the
apparently,
point.
yeah, but like when you're even at that age, when you're like that age and stuff, the risk of the designated authority figure being
Right.
disappointed in you, like I don't know how she's thinking in her head, but my assumption is like, well, if this works out and my older sister, even though she's been doing this for a long time and knows what she's talking about, if it somehow works out that I was right about my thought on this horse and stuff, maybe she'll be like appreciative.
With
Yeah.
big
of me.
risk comes
Yeah.
big reward.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She's like, maybe she needs to see what I'm thinking, and
Well,
then
with
she'll,
big risk comes
Ye-
with big vet bills.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and
there's
it-
a reason why it's called risk.
Yeah.
you know?
Well, and the
Like,
thing that gets me about that
I'm
is
not saying it's justified,
Yeah.
obviously, but
the thing that I kind of picked up was she's like, but it's pretty.
yeah,
It doesn't matter if it's pretty. Is it? For me, like, I get what you're saying. Like, she wanted to prove herself
Yeah.
to her sister, but on the other hand, in that aspect, you made that decision.
yeah.
Like, you took
Oh,
on
yeah.
that risk, and now it bit you in the butt,
It
dude.
did.
Sorry.
Yeah, by no means is that an excuse
Yeah.
for her. I'm just like trying to put myself
Oh, yeah.
in her shoes and understand what
Trying-
the thought
yeah.
process
Yeah.
behind why she would deliberately do that. That's the only thing I can think of.
And
I
as,
mean,
as
Or I don't know their relationship either. If she doesn't like her sister, she might have just done it to
Sabotage,
be malicious.
yeah.
And because she gets babied by the parents, she knew the parents she wouldn't get in trouble. with the
Entitlement.
parent.
I have a
it's
problem with entitlement,
It's
yeah.
totally impossible, but
it doesn't sound like
It
that would be
doesn't
the
sound
case
like- 'cause she
because she
didn't-
gave her a job.
she did. Well, because the parents asked her to.
Yeah, she didn't do it for.
But just because they asked doesn't mean you have to.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well.
And
Be like, no, she's too baby and she's not gonna listen. Sorry about
She-
your luck. This is my livelihood.
yeah, she didn't say anything about her being entitled or anything. Just that her
Yeah.
parents kind of babied her.
I
and
honestly
stuff,
wondered.
but-
I'd love to see if there's like any in the comments, if there's any updates. Like when she said that she took on her sister because her parents asked her to. I wonder if she had that conversation with her parents. Like okay, I'll take her on. I have no problem with that. But if anything goes awry, you guys are responsible for this. Like I wonder if that conversation was had, and now the parents are backtracking. We just don't know a lot of the information, so I have a hard time. Like to Corey's point.
Right.
I don't know what was the younger sister was thinking. Like, what was her thought process?
I think she was thinking that she saw something and she thought she was going to be right.
She thought she knew best, and she didn't.
Falls about par for the course for young people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would love to see if there's any updates if they ended up paying or if the older sister had to pay.
Nah, it's just mostly just people worried about the horse and
Yeah.
everything. Is like, is the horse okay? And it's a lot of like, yeah, they're fine, but it could have been so much worse. If,
Oh yeah.
Right.
Especially if the stallion was violent.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
know that because he hasn't been around other horses.
Yeah, it could have easily took a big old chunk out of it. It
Yeah.
could have damaged if he actually got in the process of actually mounting the mare. He could have done some serious damage and stopped her
Oh,
from
yeah,
ever breeding
absolutely.
again.
Yeah. That's a lot of ifs and
yeah.
stuff like that.
Only thing I can see in the comments about her sister is just the original. I didn't realize that their username, the person who posted this, their name's Pissed Off Equestrian.
Pissed off equestrian.
Yeah.
I like that.
But she essentially it just says she's never working on my yard again. Don't worry, I'm not letting her on my property as a whole again because I cannot trust her.
Well, that sounds like
That's
there's
fair.
a little bit of resentment there anyway.
Yeah, a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's 20 years between the two of them.
Well,
So
I mean, imagine if that's your livelihood and.
well,
you know.
yeah, but that just because it's my livelihood doesn't mean you can't allow her back on the property. You just don't let her mess with the horses.
It's gonna take.
But how can
time.
you trust her not to? She already has proven to you that she's not going to listen to you.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're having like a family function, there's no reason for her to be out by the horses anyway.
I think it's just one of those things that it's gonna take time.
Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
it-
Usually
you know,
it does.
Right now, it sounds like because this was posted 3 days ago.
Oh, yeah, it's still
yeah.
fairly new. Yeah.
Very-
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So this one says, would I be the asshole for not going to my sister's wedding because her venue is not wheelchair accessible? Interesting.
I'd have
So
to
it
hear
says-
this story.
Yeah.
She might be handy. She might be wheelchair.
This is my 24 female sister, 30 female. So I'm presuming the sister's 30,
Yep.
is getting married soon. I'm very happy for her, and there is no issues between the two of us. She really wanted to get married in a specific location, and she got it. Well, that's good for you. This is great, but the location is pretty much not accessible to wheelchairs. I have a significant disability and cannot move at all without a wheelchair, so it's going to be rough. Well, there's your question. There's your answer. She told me that I could be carried up the stairs and then stay at the tables, but that's not something I'm comfortable with. Getting carried is very uncomfortable and dangerous, especially when done repeatedly by someone who isn't used to it. I really don't want to have to be carried to the toilets at a wedding full of strangers,
That'd be really embarrassing.
or
Yeah.
or even worse, have an accident. So she must be like paraplegic or something. Then I also couldn't expect people to just sit there with me while the celebration goes on. But the idea of sitting there watching for hours feels wrong, especially after a few hours of sitting hurts a lot and skin becomes a concern.
I wonder if she has MS.
But I wouldn't ask someone to leave the wedding just for me. I'm not upset about the fact that the place picked as the venue. It's their day, and I don't expect them to plan based on my needs. But I also don't think she understands that it's not as easy as she thinks. There's also many things that could go very wrong. I intend to get them a nice gift and propose to maybe spend quality time together afterwards or before. My cousins told me that it's just one day and that it's very important to my sister. So I could make an effort and get out of my comfort zone. But I feel like endangering my health isn't as simple as getting out of my comfort zone. So would I be the asshole for not going?
First, let me say, you know your sister has a disability. Yes, it is your day. This is what I find really frustrating about brides nowadays. People have this stigma about it's all about the bride. It's all about the bride. It's not all about the bride. It's about the couple who
family.
is getting married and coming together. They're joining two families.
Right.
So, yes, should the bride and the groom have the day that they desire? Absolutely. However, if it puts somebody at medical risk, carrying somebody around, that is embarrassing. That is demeaning. And that minimizes the fact that she has to deal with this day in and day out.
Well, I think it if it's demeaning for her, I think that's the key. Is if you don't mind it, then there
Whatever.
shouldn't be no issue.
But I'm
Right.
saying for her, it's
Yeah, it's an issue.
demeaning.
Right.
It's demeaning for her. She's like, I want to be as independent at least what it sounds like. I could be wrong, but
Right.
For her sister not to take into account how that would make her feel, and just we talked about this a couple days ago, is somebody devaluing how somebody feels about something simply because it's what they want.
Right.
Why, have you talked to the venue about potentially adding a ramp? Are there ramps that can be added for one night?
That, or do you have a couple people in your family that are good with a hammer and nails?
Right. You can build a ramp for the night, a portable ramp.
Right. Well, they make portable ramps, but it depends on the venue. I mean, there might be a set of stairs to get in the building. There might be a set of stairs at the inside the venue itself. Might have like a stage, which might have to have another set of stairs.
I don't know. For me, I would ask I would find a middle ground. I would ask the venue if they
Right.
have any availability to add a ramp, or if even if you were to eat that cost
Right.
and
Right.
add the ramp for the night, if that would be an issue, because
If I can bring my own.
I don't think she's the asshole for not going. If
Oh,
they're
no.
not willing to take into consideration that she's not doing it maliciously, she's
No.
saying this is a concern to my health.
Right.
I would love to be there, but there's just no possible way for me to be there
as-
safely.
Yeah, and at that point, like you said, you spend time with them before or after.
Yeah.
Make a day of it or whatever.
Yeah.
Watch the video together.
What are your thoughts?
I don't think, because it's kind of hard to say with the ramp.
Yeah.
You'd have to see the venue
Mhm.
and know how, like, is it at some place that's multiple stories? Is it just like the entrance that you have to get
Right.
in?
Yeah.
I mean, besides that, just if you just listen to the poster and find and not ask her, but if you eliminate the opportunity for it to be wheelchair accessible for the day or for the night,
yeah,
would she be the asshole for not going?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
And it doesn't, based on what you read, doesn't even sound like her sister is the one. Like, it doesn't
Not
sound
too
like
concerned
her
about her sister, is she?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's what I mean about like brides today. It's my day. It's my day. It's my
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Listen, sweetheart.
Well, because
It's the couple's day.
I would have something to say if her like sister was actively against her, like not coming, like what's wrong with you? You should still show up. It's my day. Her sister kind of sounds like, very
Entitled.
Well, no, because this is.
indifferent.
There
Yeah,
you go.
well, no, because the first part of that post was her sister said she could just be carried around. She
Oh,
doesn't understand
okay.
why
I
it's
missed
such a
that
big deal.
part.
And her
Yeah.
cousin said the same thing.
Okay, yeah.
So that's where I
well,
was
it's
like,
demeaning.
yeah,
Yeah,
that one is I don't know. I don't think she's the asshole in any way.
no, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I don't understand why. And if they're not willing to, take some of your feelings in consideration, like you said, it's not necessarily about that an individual's feelings. It's about the whole group. But if the bride wants her sister to be there, she should have no problems of trying to find a workaround.
Mm-hmm.
When you're looking for venues, right? You always look for more than one.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? You pick 2, you pick 5, and then you try the top 3.
Mm-hmm.
If you really want your sister to be there, you get number 1, but you really want your sister to be there and she can't be there, you go to number 2.
So
That's
get-
what I'm
so-
saying. It sounds indifferent. It sounds like she doesn't really care whether her sister's there or not.
Yeah.
To
I
be
don't think
honest.
her sister even understands what she's got to go through, though. I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah,
No,
I think
yeah.
that's part of it. But to both of your points, my point is why can't you ask the venue if this is even an option? If this is your dream venue,
right.
then make it work for your party.
Have
Right.
you-
Make
yeah.
it work for your wedding, where it's not, like Corey said, demeaning anybody else in the process. I don't understand.
Have they-
Venues
yeah.
can't, especially wedding venues, that you can't tell me that they don't have wheelchair accessible access in the world that we live in today.
Unless it's some place that's super old, but usually,
Yeah, sorry.
in order for code,
We don't serve paraplegics here. I'm gonna have to ask you to
Way to
wheel on out of here.
Yeah.
But-
Way to open yourself up for a lawsuit.
well, that's what I'm saying though, is that to be able to get the permits to be accessible, there is a set of guidelines that have to be reached.
Yeah.
And I'm depending on where this is at. I mean, this may not be in the U.S., but I believe, and I could be wrong, that most states require a venue like that to be wheelchair accessible.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what country it's in, but there's paraplegics all over the world. So.
Oh, you're telling me you can't walk, Cupcake?
I know. right?
Sounds like a skill issue to me.
Jesus.
Oh my.
Yeah, no, I don't think she's the asshole at all.
Oh no.
Stand up for what's right.
Yep. And you know what? If your sister doesn't cares that little about your health, I wouldn't feel bad about it either.
Yeah,
I'd be like, you know, that's your own damn fault.
Absolutely not.
yeah.
Oh, shizzle.
I mean, I would encourage her to be a part of as much of the wedding festivities as possible, but the wedding itself,
Right.
like, it's just a wedding, bro. Who cares?
Yeah.
And I'm
Just-
probably the wrong girl to ask about that. Like, I want a wedding too, but I don't want like this event. I want to get married. I don't know. I have a very different viewpoint.
It's
on
supposed to be a party
weddings.
for everybody. It's a celebration.
Yeah.
Celebration.
Yeah.
And all the comments are like, no, you are not. Most of them call the sister an asshole for not even thinking of her.
I know.
You go with your bad self.
Or you roll with your bad
You
self.
roll with your bad self.
Oh boy.
I got another one. This one's pretty short though. Am I the asshole for not giving my coworker a ride after he didn't spot me $1 at the vending machine?
$1?
$1.
I got you $1.
Gotta be quicker than
Got
that.
it quicker than that.
I usually give my coworker a ride on the way back from work, usually driving 5 miles out of the way per day to drop him off at his place because he doesn't have a car. Okay, we're going to get petty with this
Is this one
post.
gonna be petty?
We're going to be very petty with this post based on where we're going,
Okay.
which is okay. I've been there. I've been doing that for about 2 years now. What a good Samaritan you are. And haven't asked for anything, and he has never offered. Yesterday, I was at the vending machine and wanted a soda. I was short $1 and had left my wallet in the car. I would usually go get my wallet, but it takes forever to wait for the elevators at my workplace. So I asked if he could spot me $1 for the soda. He straight up refused and said, "Just use your own money, man. I don't really give money to friends or coworkers. Sorry."
Oh, okay.
You want to ride home, don't you?
Ugh.
Like
I was taken aback
Uber.
by this comment because I've probably spent well over $1,500 in gas over the past 2 years for this guy, and he can't even spot me at one. You did not spend $1,500 on gas. 5 miles back, 10 miles. What? You're driving 10 a day?
Yeah, but what if
10
he's driving
miles a
something
day?
like it's like 6 miles to the gallon?
I don't know.
I mean, we're spending a lot of money a year.
How long did he say he was doing it?
2 years?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's probably
yeah.
about right.
You think so?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
10 miles a day?
10 miles a
5
day.
days a week.
If
5 days a week.
That's
But
50
you have to
miles a
consider,
week.
yeah, if you get like 18 miles a gallon,
Yeah. Nah, 50 miles a week.
50 miles a
50
week
miles a week.
for
yeah.
2 years.
50 miles. So we'll say
You figure
50 miles a week. That's 200 a month. 200 miles.
200
a month.
miles.
Yeah, 200 miles a month.
So what? It's 200 a month.
200 a
So
month.
that's 2,400. No, not 2,400. No, that's right. 12 times 2 is 2,400
Yep,
a year.
2,400
2,400. So that's 4,800 miles
Yeah.
in 2 years.
So you'd probably
But I want to know is did he just pick a number out of the blue, or did he go back and add the gas receipts?
he might have. That's why I was curious because like
You figure 50 miles a week.
50 miles
Right.
a week, 200.
20 miles a gallon. That's 2.5 gallons a week.
Yeah,
2.5 gallons a week times 3.
3. Yeah,
Right, just we round down. So you're 2 gallons. You figure it's 2 gallons a week
2 gallons a week.
times $3 a gallon is $6 a week.
Yeah,
$6
How many
times
weeks are in
52.
2 years?
It would be four, because it's usually 369 or 399.
I was being very conservative, but you figure 49 weeks a year.
49.
That's conservative because there's usually about 52. There's 52 weeks in a year, but usually 2 of those weeks you don't work. So
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you could do
So,
50 weeks just to be easy math.
2 times 3.
We got off on a way tangent. I kind of want to hear the rest.
6
Story.
6 times what? 49. 294.
200. $294.
$294.
So $300.
Yeah,
Is that per year or per month?
That'd be per year.
per year, so 600. 600 for 2 years.
And if he's getting less miles than 20 miles to the gallon, it's going to be even higher than that.
Yeah, so we could say like 800.
Yeah, so he's pretty
800.
close.
Pretty close, yeah.
Conservative.
Yeah.
And maybe they're working 6 days a week.
Yeah,
we only
don't
figured
know.
5.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
and he only may live 5 miles away, but he may be sitting in traffic worth 10 miles because of
Yeah.
traffic, depending
Yeah.
on where he
okay,
lives.
I don't know. That
So
just
you're
seems
close.
that seems so high to me. 1,005, but
Yeah.
it's 2 years. Yeah, I guess that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That just seemed really high. I probably spent
Now
well
that we've
over-
had our math for the day.
I probably spent well over 150,000 or I
Wow,
hope not.
that got high fast.
Well over $1,500 in gas over the past 2 years for this guy, and he can't even spot me $1 just this once. And based on what he said earlier with the he left his wallet in the car, I'm sure he would have given the guy his dollar back for
Right.
the money. I got pretty upset by this, and once it hit 5, I told him I'm not giving him free rides anymore. He seemed upset and said I was petty. Am I the asshole?
No, I'd be like, I'm petty? Shh. I asked for $1 that I would have gave you back when we got in the car.
Yeah. If you'd have asked me for $1, I would have given you $1.
Shoot, as much as I come pick you up, you should buy me a pop whenever I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Uber from here on out, buddy.
devil's
Yeah.
advocate, you didn't set those guidelines right off the rip.
No.
So yes, you can set them now, but I would have explained to the rider, listen, and it sounds like he did, I can't keep giving you rides for free. So either you can choose to pay up, or we're gonna have to find another arrangement.
This sounds like some resentment that built up
Oh, yeah.
over the 2 years of and it's a communication issue.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
Oh, yeah.
when you speaking from someone who's given a person rides before,
I used to do it all the time.
there's this unspoken assumption that at some point I'm not saying you have to give me money, but there's got to be a favor every now and then or
Yeah.
something for it. And I think this guy was expecting that. He's like, well, I've been giving him rides and stuff, so at some point
Yeah.
when the time comes, he'll cover for me because I've been
Right.
giving him rides, and that just didn't happen. I think this was the breaking point, but I think in the back of his mind he's really resentful, just slowly building up over these 2 years, and that was the
It's probably not the first time he asked to spot him $1.
you don't think so?
Well, whether it was or whether it wasn't, as a decent human being, and who knows, his coworker may not be a decent human being. Sounds like he's not. At some point, you offer, even if the driver
yeah.
says no. You should
Yeah.
You
offer,
always
dude.
offer. You always offer.
Especially if you don't have a driver's license.
I was going for 2 weeks. I was going up to Ipsy in the morning to pick up a coworker and take him to the middle school
Mhm.
because we both work there, and then I'd drop him back off
Mhm.
and then come home. I didn't ask him for anything. First thing he said immediately was all right, well, since you're doing this, let me take care of your lunch and any gas money
Right.
that
Yeah.
you from the miles that it takes to get me home and stuff, because he's I know it's a 30-minute drive there and a 30-minute drive back,
Right.
so that's 2 hours out of your day, so let me at least do this stuff for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Me and my buddy, we used to work at the same facility, right?
Yeah.
So what we did is we said, all right, we're gonna ride. I think my car was broke down or something. I can't remember how we got on the subject. But we're going to the same place at the same time. We're coming home at the same time. Why not we just ride together?
Yeah.
I was like, cool. I'm like, how do you want to do that? He goes, I'll drive a week. You drive a week.
Yeah.
And when there's no need to be putting money, here and there and whatnot. And then I got my car.
Yeah.
Because we both had trucks,
Mhm.
right? So it was expensive for both of us. When I got my car and it was cheaper, it was way cheaper on that. He says, all right, I'll just buy every other tank for your car.
Oh, nice.
That's fair.
Yeah,
on
I
my
think
week,
that's
on my
fair.
week, you fill up your car because, it's only it only costs $40 to fill up my car versus $100 for his truck.
Yeah.
He says, so instead of me spending $100 worth of fuel, I'll buy you $40 worth of fuel.
There you go.
It saves everybody. Yeah.
And yeah.
You'd
all
have
the way
had to
around.
drive to work anyways, so
Right.
you would have been putting those miles on your car anyways, regardless.
Right. So
yeah.
it works out best. So there's no reason why to be a pain in the wazoo about it. Just offer.
Even me and Joey did that when we were working in the same place. It was like, I drive a week, you drive a week. We're going to the same place anyways. We live in the same place. So
Yeah. I don't know. Devil's advocate, though, like if you were pent up resentment and you're all of a sudden going to tell him you got to find your own way home, he wasn't expecting that. That's kind of a douchebag move.
Well, yeah.
Like, talk to him. You
can't-
should have said something before this. Because if you had that expectation, you can't expect people to read your mind. You can't expect people to have the same morals and values that you do.
Yeah.
So, like, it's kind of a dick move to be like, you have to find your own another way home.
And
Have that conversation on the way home and said, from now on, tomorrow morning, you're going to have to figure out your own ride.
I'd agree with that,
I
but
would too.
he doesn't. It's just speculation. 'cause
He may
doesn't
have. He'd be
say.
like, man, you
Yeah, he
can't
may
spot
have.
me $1, man. You can
I'm
find
just-
your own way home.
Yeah, I just know based off of like, I feel like how this was written out. Like he put everything in detail. He's like, I've been doing this for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't spot me this $1, even though I've probably spent this much money driving his ass back to his house and
Yeah.
stuff. It just like the way it was typed up sounds like there is buried resentment.
Oh,
There might
absolutely.
be something else more there too.
Yeah.
So, like, in the long, like, I don't think he's an asshole overall, but I do think, and we don't know if he actually took him home and had that conversation on the way home, or from what I picked up, though, he told him that he was no longer going to give him rides. So,
Oh yeah, no, he said he's not giving him rides anymore.
but did he give him a ride home that night? Because
No, he didn't. He told him.
see, that's kind of a dick
He
move.
told him you're gonna have to. I got pretty upset by that, and once it hit 5, I told him I'm not giving him free rides anymore.
So this happened before they had closed. You had plenty of time to tell him he needed to find a ride home. Now
Yeah.
he's stranded there, not having a ride home. That's kind of a dick move. Like
They
that,
said he
you're an
wasn't-
asshole in that regard.
said
Yeah,
he
but
wasn't
when you're
giving free
angry,
rides.
I'm not saying it's an excuse either. When you're angry, you're not gonna act rational like
No.
that at all. This is exactly how I would have expected somebody who's
Yeah.
being petty and like angry to act.
Yeah.
Like I said, I knew it was gonna be a petty post
Do-
based
Right.
on the.
Do the dollar dude, the one that wouldn't spot the dollar, sounds like a Kevin.
And that could be it. There might have been a conflict. There might have been a lot of issues with him riding back and forth. Just listen to him complain and bitch about stupid stuff.
I don't know. Like
He
I
might
said,
I'm done with this.
the only thing that I have the issue with, and I kind of think he was an asshole, was stranding his coworker, because the coworker, regardless if it was right or not, had arranged the ride with you.
Yeah. And
Like, you have every right to say no, especially if, like, there's an emergency or something. But just because he wouldn't spot you $1, you can have that conversation, drop him off, and say that's the last time you're
Yeah,
going to do
give
it.
him a ride, get him to his house, and be like, "That's the last time that I'm dropping you
your own
off
from now
here.
on,
You're
yeah.
on your own."
Yeah.
At this point,
Right. Or hey, did you find a way home? Because if you didn't, then fine, I'll take you. But that's it.
But he didn't tell him before they were all leaving, and that's the thing. I'm like,
yeah, he waited until, by the sounds of it, it sounds like he waited until like work just got out,
Right.
and
That's-
he's like, "Nope, I'm not giving you a ride."
Right.
Yeah.
So this whole afternoon, and obviously it was at a break time, so it had to have been a couple hours before he was leaving work. He had time to tell him, and he could have found a ride within those 2 hours,
Right.
and he didn't, and that's kind of a dick move.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
a dick move.
It is a dick
But like, no, you're not the asshole overall, because
we got a pen. We could put you in with a stallion. We'll see how that works out for you.
the pettiness is, you're both
Yeah.
assholes. Get over it.
Yeah, that happens a lot though. I mean,
Be grown adults. You can't expect him to know what you expect, because his values may be completely different than yours. But you didn't get treated right, and you have every right to say you're not worth giving rides to, bro. Sorry, you're gonna have to figure it out.
right.
But don't be petty about it. I don't like pettiness.
This one's got text messages, so I'm gonna do voices too.
Oh, this would be.
So
Get ready, y'all.
Oh,
This
this
is gonna be
is-
very entertaining.
This is
Um,
going to be a role play. Hey, you good at this?
I
might,
am.
I might have a free mic for you at
Oh,
Masters of Nine.
hell yeah.
For those of you out there that don't know, Corey is very, very funny.
That is not the popular answer.
I'm fine with it not being the popular opinion. What is that? The unpopular opinion?
Let's
Right.
just say the people who agree with that statement, it's very much a factor of quality over quantity.
I'm not exactly
Okay.
sure how to respond to that.
Anyway, I'm really awaiting what these voices are gonna be, and
Oh,
I
they're
hope
so
one is really
funny.
high pitched and female, and one is really low and male.
One is gonna be like
Oh, just to surprise us. Just surprise us.
You'll hear.
Yeah,
You'll hear.
this ought to be interesting.
Um,
If nothing else, our views will go through the roof with this one.
Am I overreacting? So this is from the Am I Overreacting subreddit.
Okay.
Am I overreacting for not quitting the gym because my boyfriend told me to? What do you, just based off that title, what are your immediate thoughts?
I'm sorry. First of all, is it he or she?
She.
So, first of all, girl, you are independent. You don't have to, whether he tells you to do something or not do something, you are an independent person that can make choices for themselves. Man, that man got some control. I'm going to be quiet.
Well,
that's not
this
cool.
This is going to be
now,
a good
now my
post.
question on top of that is, who pays for the membership?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
If she pays for the membership,
assuming
he's got no
Yeah.
call over that anyway.
I'm assuming she pays for the membership.
Well, then it's her money, her business. Sorry about your luck, buddy.
This post was locked, so people aren't even allowed to comment on it anymore. So you know this.
Oh,
I can't wait for this.
Oh boy.
Okay, so there's a little bit of back before I read the messages, so I'll read that really quick. Praying he doesn't see this, but anyway, my boyfriend has suddenly snapped and doesn't want me going to the gym anymore, and I can't figure out why.
Let's hear the story. Hang on. Let's hear the story.
I do already have my dream body. Good for you.
Right on.
But I don't want to quit at all. Yeah, well, you gotta maintain that stuff. You know, it's not just like you get it and then
It
it
sticks
stays
around,
there.
yeah.
No,
It doesn't work that way.
no. The gym is as awful and good. It's so many things. You gotta stay going, maintain it. Does anyone have any idea why he has suddenly switched up about me going to the gym? And am I doing too much by not quitting? Oh boy.
Oh, I have
I'm wondering, and this is where my brain went. Did she get? Is he afraid that she's gonna look like the Incredible Hulk? Is what I'm wondering.
That sounds so hot. Sorry.
Oh.
I mean,
Anyways.
yeah. Oh, fuck. Hey, if you like them big and green, hey, more power to you, buddy.
No. Okay. My first immediate. I love these. I've read so many of these.
Yeah.
They're from. By my calculations, there are about 3 different directions that this could go.
There's the nerd that I like.
So, the first one is insecurity because
Yep.
she mentioned she's going to the gym, but she doesn't mention anything about him going to the gym. Now, usually, a lot of the time, couples will go to the gym together, which is
Right.
I think that's a good thing.
yeah.
I think it's just a nice thing to
Healthy.
do together. It gets you in a positive mindset. It's way easier to go because you're more motivated to go because you have someone to push you. A lot of good reasons to go together as a couple. What I see is insecurity, potentially. The first way is if he's not going to the gym and she is, and she's getting all these nice benefits, you know,
Right.
she's feeling better, nicer body, you know, she's probably feeling more confident about herself. If he's not going and he's seeing like all these positive effects and changes on her, he might be resentful in that regard. He's
Insecure.
like insecure about
Yeah.
his own, you know,
Or
image
even the
and
relationship
stuff.
on
Or
top of
yeah,
that.
yeah, which is a total possibility and so a lot of guys will manipulate, or girls too. Depend. It's not, you know,
Gender
gender
specific.
specific.
Yeah.
Right.
He's probably like, oh man, she's getting too good for me or out of my league in attractiveness. I need her to like stop going to the gym so that she can kind of, you know, as bad as it sounds, put on more weight or, you know,
Yeah.
become less attractive so she
Right.
doesn't leave me.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily believe that because she says she's already at that point.
Yeah.
But he's just now telling her not to go to the gym.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess
Um,
it's a possibility.
Another thing is also in the same field as insecurity is it's not just exclusive to females going to the gym. There are lots of guys that go to the gym.
Yep.
You know, I've met a lot of guys at the gym. They're really nice. You know, they can be really charming. There can also be a lot of douchebags at the gym though
I was
too.
waiting
For every nice, you know, good, genuine person there. There's plenty of douchebags, but it's very possible that he could be worried about, someone stealing
Oh yeah.
her from him.
Uh-huh.
She starts talking to someone at the gym, and she finds out.
They have a lot
I think
in common. And all
yeah.
that good stuff. Plus the gym.
Plus the gym. He just might. There just might be a lot of insecurity rooted
Could
into
be.
it, where he's like, oh well, what if she finds someone better than me?
Well, then
Go to the gym. It's
If you-
not that hard. It only brings good things.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I hate the gym.
I think
No
from
one likes the gym.
well, I hate to say this from a woman's point of view, but from a woman's point of view, it would definitely be insecurity,
Yeah.
and how he responds to that is being controlling.
Yeah.
First of all,
yeah.
if you want to keep your woman or your boyfriend or whatever it is that you have in your household, up to you, dude. Do not diminish something that they enjoy. If she
Yeah.
is
Oh,
getting confident,
absolutely.
you should want to support that. If it's the right person for you, they're going to support that.
if you start pushing these insecurities on her and then pushing this resentment onto
She
her,
will.
You're going to push her. You're
you're
going to push
gonna-
her right into somebody else.
you are going to be creating a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yep.
Of
My friend.
singleism.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everything that you've created, this fake thing that you've created in your head that you think she's doing in there,
Mm-hmm.
will come to pass if you keep acting the fucking stupid way that you're acting right
Yeah.
now.
Right.
Yeah,
Um,
that's not cool.
It's not, and so insecurity is terrifying. It can,
Right.
it can do
It
that
is,
to you.
and it makes people do very irrational things. So that's, we get that, but trying to control her and tell her you have to stop going. First of all, she's her own person. You cannot tell her what she can and cannot do.
Nope.
Yeah,
Second, if you're that insecure, to you guys' point, go to the gym with her.
yeah,
Because first of all, that's going to spark
Right.
something in her that's going to say, you know what, I know he doesn't love this, but he's doing this for me, which is going to trigger her to draw closer to you. Get off your ass and do something.
yeah, exactly.
Stop being a
Butthole.
yeah, that's the word I was thinking, guys.
That's
Anyway,
okay. I have
what-
lots of beeps, so we can beep whatever we want.
You said there was text. I want to hear
Yeah,
these texts because I want to
there-
know if there's some context in there.
There are 3 texts, so
Oh yeah, that's what we need to see right
Yeah.
so starting with the boyfriend.
Where are you? I'm at the gym. Nearly done. You're going quite often now. Babe, I've been going 3 times a week for ages now. Nothing has changed. I'd preferred if you stopped going.
That's not gonna happen.
Go, girl.
But why? Are you craving attention? I give you loads of it.
That's bullshit.
Okay.
Who would I be? Who would I be craving attention off of? Okay, next
The
page.
muscular guy at the mirror.
That I'm already ticked
Oh,
off.
I was right. Let's go. This emoji, the like.
Oh, the hands in the what? What's wrong?
Those guys you work out with, obviously.
Oh, and she blanked out some names. Brett and James. I was working out before they even joined in. So how did you come to that conclusion? You said you were fine with me having friends that are guys.
I am.
So what are you trying to say?
So I want you to quit. Your stomach is flat and you've grown
Oh no.
and you've grown glutes.
What more do you want?
just the fact that he even knows what glutes are.
Oh my god.
Is there more?
Yeah, there's
Oh,
one
God.
more page.
Dude, you're a dick.
And what do you
Oh,
And what do you think will happen if I stop going?
can you just f***ing quit? It's starting to really irritate me.
I can stop going as often with them guys if you want.
No. I just want you to fully stop.
That's where it ends.
Oh my god, that was awesome. Good job, Corey.
nice role play. I like it.
First of all, dude, you're a dick. You are a massive dick. Insecurity or not,
Yeah.
that girl, do you. Go to that gym. Be respectful of your man's feelings though. He's telling you he's insecure about it.
Get him to go with you.
Yeah.
Although I know that would be a hard pull. You'd have a hard time getting me to go to the gym.
But I also don't disrespect your emotions. First of all,
No.
my fat ass is not going to the gym. If I'm going to work out or if I'm going to do something, it's going to be outdoors where I know you're going to want to do it with me.
Right?
If you guys are going to make this relationship work, compromise. You should not have to stop going to the gym.
I don't think they're making that work at all.
I commend you for saying I can stop going when they're there if that makes you uncomfortable. Good
Right.
on you, girl, for addressing that. And shit on you, bro, for not
For being a douche.
douche, man. Come on. This is a 2025. Get the f*** over it.
My-
Get off your ass and do something.
Issue is that it's
Sorry.
really sad because she's being very reasonable with,
Extremely
and
reasonable, yeah.
like he's being
Therapist
very
is it now.
very unreasonable
Yeah.
and very insecure, and he is clearly really upset. By all means, this guy is in the wrong.
Oh,
This
for
guy
sure.
is in the
100%.
wrong,
100%.
and yet she's the one that I see trying to be accommodating, even though she's not doing anything wrong. There's nothing wrong here
How
at
old-
all, especially because I know some guys.
How old is she, Corey?
It doesn't say.
Oh.
I
I say find out what gym she goes to. There you go.
it's kind of sad that he's the one that's fully in the wrong here, and she's the one being very accommodating when she doesn't have to be. She does
No.
not have to be the
Nope.
one
No.
that's accommodating. She's not doing anything wrong. He's the one over here that's throwing a tantrum like a giant man baby right now.
No.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And it's just you don't say things if you don't mean it. I know some guys it's a very big issue if their girlfriend has guy friends. I
Yes.
know for it's some
Yep.
guys just cannot deal with it.
Yeah.
And
That's
you know
right.
what? That's fine. But if you're one of those guys, don't say that it's okay and then you know it's not okay in
Yeah.
your head and then get upset about it when you're the one that said it was okay.
Yeah.
Right?
She's done nothing wrong here at all. So I
Yeah,
don't
if you
know.
got that big of a problem with her being around other dudes, then you need to go too.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is if you're really afraid of her being around guys, then do something about it.
Right.
Get up, fight for what you want to keep. Apparently, you want to keep it, but you want to lock it in a cage. That's not fair. Get up,
Right.
go to a different gym together. If it's that gym specific, go to a different gym together.
Right. There's always gyms are getting to be like gas stations. They're usually all over
Like
the place.
I don't get why. I Corey was dead on. Like it was insecurity, absolutely insecurity.
I want you to fully stop. This comment says, I want you to fully stop. They're quoting what she said in that text. And then the commenter goes on to say, they're like, time for you to fully stop dating.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, a lot of these.
I do think he
There's-
needs to work on himself, though.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
definitely think he needs to work on where this insecurity is coming from. If he is insecure about the way that he looks, then do something about it. You know,
Right.
it doesn't have to necessarily be go to the gym, but you know, if that's an insecurity for you, then figure it out. Talk to her about it. Be
Yeah.
vulnerable with her. Like, don't just demand stuff from her, and vice versa. She shouldn't be demanding stuff from. Which she doesn't sound like she is.
doesn't
I'm just
sound
saying.
like she's demanding anything.
No, she's the
Yeah,
one
let's
that's
just-
accommodating
yeah.
Right.
to
That-
his ridiculousness right now.
Yeah,
My
that's crappy, man.
My problem is this seems like it's, and it's hard to say because there's very little like
Context.
information besides this one interaction. We don't know anything about the rest of how their relationship is going whatsoever. It's just, it gives me a very he's very controlling
Uh-huh.
in general, and she's very non-confrontational.
Yeah. The thought just popped in my head, like, if he is that insecure, he was projecting that she was going
Yeah.
to do it even though he's doing it anyway.
Well,
Yeah.
my thing here is too, if he's already comfortable acting this way, saying like, no, 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 I just want you to fully stop. If he's already to that point where he's comfortable, you know, just saying that stuff to you and like, you know, trying to convince you to stop. I don't
It's time
know.
to go, lady.
Yeah, I don't know. You can probably do better.
Much
Way
better,
better.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
But-
that'll spark him to like work on himself. Like, I don't want to bash him either. He probably has trauma he has to work through, or, you know, dominance
issues.
issues that he has to work through. Like, I think both of you need to. I think it's time for you to leave, girl, but I also think it's time for him to.
Start focusing on himself.
Yeah.
Yep. Maybe
that's
not. Maybe
a
not.
rough one.
Maybe not leave him, but take a break. Guys,
Oh,
work on
yeah.
yourselves.
Absolutely.
Or if you
Go
can
to-
find a compromise or go to couples therapy or whatever it is, it'll
No,
work for you guys.
This guy is not the type to
Yeah, I don't-
compromise
I
just
don't
based
think
on
so. Yeah.
this text.
No.
I know it seems kind of extreme just because I've read only a few texts, but this the way he talks does not give me the vibe. It's either his way or
The highway.
The highway.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm familiar with that.
And those type of people typically try to find people that
They can control.
Yep.
they can control, that they know won't leave.
Yeah, that's
you
how my
know,
dad was.
so.
Yep. So I think with that, I think that's a good place to
Yeah, I think so too.
tie it up at. So with that, Corey and I would like to thank all of you that listened, that stayed to the end of today's wild and crazy train, today's discussion, and we hope that you enjoyed our topic of chat, and we hope we see you all next week for more of probably the same. We would like to remind you, you can follow us at Break Up the Daily Grind on Facebook and YouTube, and we are also on Spotify. So stars, people, we like them. 1, 5, we don't care. It just lets you know that we're listening. You can leave the comments for us on Facebook and YouTube, and if you want, you can email us your comments, ideas, dedications, dad jokes, quotes of the day. Am I forgetting something?
Mm-mm.
No, I didn't think so.
Oh, you are forgetting something.
What am I forgetting?
Was it?
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. You forgot to tell them how good they were smelling right now. What the heck? Jeez.
You are crazy, crazy kid. So we would love to hear from you, and I guess
That
if you,
gym sweat's potent.
yeah, I guess if you,
Sorry.
if you want to tell Corey what your kind of perfume or cologne you're wearing, I guess you can do that too. That way he can really get a sense of what you're smelling like. I don't know, but regardless, we would still love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
So you can comment. Send us all that stuff. You can email us at mo9studios@gmail.com. With that crazy crap, we will leave you with this thought of the week.
Every sunrise is an invitation for us to arise and brighten someone's day. Rochelle E. Goodrich.
And with that, we will see you next time.
Later, skaters.